Hey guys, welcome back to another episode here at my local park, the Wauwau County Park here in Eastern Washington. And today I'm hoping to get a nice sunset photo. So let's go. So one of the reasons why I wanted to come back here was last week I went back down to Oregon to the Eagle Cap Wilderness Range, and it's a place that I've explored lightly but never really that much. And I did some research on it. I found a nice alpine lake that I wanted to hike up to, but other than that I didn't really know too much about it. So I went ahead and went anyway though. Checked the weather, made sure we had a possibility of some good light there at sunset. And I did all my prep work to go. And now I love that hike. I had a lot of fun doing it. And the photos that I got, to be honest, they were okay, but they weren't great. And I liked them enough to share them on Instagram, but other than that, it is what it is. And that happens quite often in, specifically landscape photography. You have this idea in your head of an epic place that you can go to, and sometimes you think, oh man, I'm just gonna get there and it's just gonna be an excellent shot no matter what, and that's just not the case. So I got to thinking about that the past couple days. Like, yes, I really enjoyed it, and I got some good photos, but like I said, they're not great. But a couple of weeks ago I posted an article on my website about shooting locally, and I knew that if I would have gone to the places I usually go when I just want to do a quick out and about, I may have gotten a better photo. Now, whether that would have been true or not, don't know. So what I wanted to do for this week's video was I wanted to go to a place that I've shot many, many times. And it's just a little county park right outside of town, about 20 minutes away, not driving very fast. And it's a place I know well. So I decided to come back, and we got some pretty interesting skies right now. I'm sorry, I had to check the focus there. And I'm really happy that I came. So I'm gonna go back to one of the spots that I've gotten a good shot before. We're gonna go ahead and set up there, see what we can see. So one of the great things about shooting locally is that you know the place very well. It is easy to get to. You can get to it in a relatively short amount of time. So if you're at home or doing whatever, you're thinking about going out and shooting some landscape, you can react quickly to the changing light and get to location. And that's what I kind of wanted to do for this video. This is a place that I know well, this is a composition that I know well, but I have not shot this particular shot since early spring. Now, because we got that big snowstorm a couple days ago, we got a few inches. Now, right now we're down by the Snake River, and it always tends to be a little warmer down here than it does up at elevation in town. But in the far distance, I'm getting a little bit of just a light snow covering on the far mountains in the canyon. And what I think is going to be nicely contrasted with the fence that I'm using as a leading line. It almost splits the image into 3 different sections. You guys hear that? It's pretty cool. This place is known for pretty cool wildlife. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna take this shot now. The sun's still up, sunset's not for about another hour. But I don't suspect I'm gonna get great light over this way. But I do like the scene enough where it merits me sitting down and taking a photo. But as I'm looking around, we have almost 360-degree view here, and I've shot so many different compositions over the past year here. So I'm gonna go ahead, get this shot in the bag, and we're gonna move off to the next one. So with this shot here, I decided to go with the 24-70 because there's a little trail that we have been walking up onto this path, and I'm going to use it as a leading line. Now, what I've always liked about this image, and once again this is an image that I've shot before, was the way that this little trail provided a nice leading line to the river down below and then up to the mountain. Now, the clouds are really elongated, and it's kind of overcast, so it kind of gives the effect like a long exposure, and that's something that's always kind of neat. I love doing long exposures. I did bring my Lee 10-stop filter here, and we still might end up using it because I may want to go ahead and just smooth out that river below, but even if I don't, it's going to look pretty neat. So we're getting the interesting clouds right now. The sun still hasn't set, but we're just getting a beautiful soft light, and we're getting the tan teal of the dead grass, the yellow color, goes nicely against the darker rock of the canyon beyond, then up into the snow, and then finally up to the tree. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set up this shot, get everything nice dialed in, and go ahead and shoot it. So with this photo, because I have foreground interest of the road as a leading line, I've had to stop down my aperture, and right now I'm shooting at f14. And what that's doing for me is it's guarantee everything from the far mountain in the back to the little sagebrush into the front is going to be nice and sharp. And that's what we want when we take these photos, is we want everything to be nice and sharp from front to back. Now that's not always possible, and sometimes you have to sit there and do your focus stacking, but when we can get it into one shot, well, that's just an added bonus. And just to be clear, not every time we want something in focus. Sometimes we like our foreground element out of focus, and it helps draw that eye through the scene. But today, I just love how everything is looking now, and I wanted everything sharp. You can see in the background, little deer coming to check us out, seeing what we're up to. Pretty cool. So I decided to go ahead and shoot a long time lapse with the little Nikon Z50, and then I decided I'd go ahead and shoot that long exposure because I just wanted to see how it would turn out. We're getting some winds up high, and you can see we get a little bit in the background, but it's not too bad. So that'll be kind of interesting. And then so because of that, I've had to switch over to the cell phone to vlog real quick. So I'm sorry about the audio. I don't have a microphone for this one. But I wanted to bring up, if you're shooting a long exposure, it's always nice to, or it's not nice, it's something that you want to get into, is turn off the vibration control and turn off the autofocus, because what will happen is sometimes that the camera won't know what's going on because it's taking such a long exposure and it's dark, and it'll sit there and hunt, and that will ruin your shot. So right now I'm taking a 5-minute long exposure, and I'm just kind of interested to see how it turns out. So finished a long exposure, and I finished a time lapse right about the same time as luck would have it. And you know what? I kind of like them both. Right now I'm leaning towards that long exposure, but I'll put it up here for you guys to decide. Let me know in the comments below which ones that you like more. So the light's fading pretty fast here, and I don't really see any other scenes that I want to take right now. So I'm gonna wait around a couple more minutes. The last scene I'm kind of just checking to see if the light's gonna turn on is right behind me, but unless something spectacular happens, I don't think I'm gonna shoot it. It's a little flat, and that's something I kind of did in my last video, was I shot a scene, and I do like the photo, like I said, but last week when I went up to Maxwell Lake up there, the light was flat, and it just wasn't that great. So yeah, well, thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. Today's a nice shorter episode. You can always tell if I'm not hiking a long way because I got the newsboy cap on. If I got the North Face hat on, the regular hat, ball cap, it's a long hike. But yeah, just to kind of reiterate, finding those local landscapes is a very important process. It's a great way to start out in landscape photography, because you can always come back, and there's an expression that you may not become the best landscaper ever, and I fully don't expect to be, but what you should always strive to be is to be the best photographer in your area. So what that means to me is you got to know these local landscapes, you got to know when the right light is, you got to know what time of day, what time of year is the best time to come out. And that's why I'm such a big advocate. If you look at my Instagram, you always see similar shots, especially of here, of Kamiak Butte, of Steptoe Butte. Those are places that I go to quite often because they're near. And when we do get that good light, or even if you think you're going to get that good light, you're able to rush out. Now this place, this Wauwai'i State Park, County Park, you know, I've gotten almost a dozen good photos here, and it seems like almost every time I come here I walk away with a photo that I like. And just where I'm at right now, you can see my camera. Almost every one of my photos that I've shot have been within 100 feet of that tripod. And it's just great because you can move around, you get your different scenes, and then 20 minutes later you're back at home and you're, you know, eating dinner and processing your photo. So yeah, like I said, you know, get to know your local landscapes and you'll just be surprised at what you can come up with. So I think that's going to do it for me in this adventure. The sun's already gone down the mountain. I don't foresee any great light to come on. Now usually that statement comes back to bite me in the butt, but today it's just not going to happen. And I'm already happy with the 2 photos that I got. So once again, thank you for coming along. If you like this video, go ahead, give me a like, a share, a comment down below. I really do appreciate it. Until then, well, we'll catch you on the next one.